In this video, we're going to show you how to do the Shim assignment. So we're going to open our template that we just did in the last assignment. We're going to go to File, and we're going to go to New, and we're going to go to our title block template that we made last time. We're going to open our template. This is where we're going to start our drawing from. So first thing I want to do is to save this. This says drawing 4. So I want to save this as a shim. So we're going to hit a save as, and then we should be in a DWG, and we'll just type in shim. I already have this saved. I already did this. So I'm going to call mine shim 1 just so I can keep my original. And then we'll hit save. Then when we're done, we'll just save that as a DWG file. The first thing I want to show you here when we do our shim is I want to show you how to orient this in our layout. You notice that we have some arrows here that show us our center lines of our page. So what I'm going to do, I want to go to our construction line tab and make some construction lines here. I want to start, first we need to zoom in a little bit, so we're going to zoom our window so we can see a little better. I'm old, I need to see a little more. So we're going to go to our arrow, and we're going to draw a line just straight across. So that should be the center of our page. We have our title block here, so we need to bring this up just a little bit from center, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to, again, we're in our construction line. I'm going to go to the middle of our line that we just did, and we're going to come down. The center of our drawing is 3.5, but I'm only going to go down 2.5, 2.5, and that's where we're going to start our drawing. Now, I'm going to draw one more construction line here. It's going to be 3.5, and I'll explain why it's 3.5 in just a minute. But that's where we're going to start with how we're going to get our shim oriented in the center of our drawing. Okay, so I already have the shim and Blackboard opened here. If you have two monitors, this would really work well. I am on my laptop, so I only have one monitor, but we're going to switch back and forth. So I found the center of our page, and I come down, I drew this line 3.5. So that is half of our 7. So we're going to come here to this point and make this is where we're going to start from the end of our construction line. And we're going to work counterclockwise around this. It doesn't matter really which way you go. You will have to do some calculations to figure out some of these dimensions. I'm not going to do all of them for you. I will do a few to get you started, and then I will show you how to add the dimensions as we go. So if we go back to our AutoCAD here, and now we're going to go into our object layer and create our actual object. So this is going to be our starting point. We're going to go over 7. So just click on the starting point, type in 7, and hit enter. Now we're going to go up. Now we need to know how far we are going up. So if we look, this is just 2 inches. So we'll go up 2 inches. And then this dimension we're going to have to figure out because there is no dimension line here. So if you notice, you got 1 inch here and 7. So that puts us at 8. And this one is 9. So that means we have 1 inch between here and here. So we'll go up 2, over 1, up 1, back over 2, up 1, over 2, up 1, and back over. So that's how we will draw our shim. So we're going to go up 2. I forgot what was going up. And then over 2, and then up 1. I'm going to let you finish the drawing. I'm going to let you look at this and figure out where your missing things will be. So here, you don't know this dimension. So you have 5 and 2, that is 7. So, and here you have 9. So you have 9 to this point and 7 to this point. So that means that line there is going to be 2. And you can have to figure out, so when you do this, you come over from the midpoint of this to here, and that will be 3 inches. And then you do the same thing with this, up 1, and that will tell you how to orient your center square. You're going to do some math and how to figure out how to do this, but all dimensions should be there to be able to calculate where these lines draw. And I'm going to let you figure that out, and I will show you how to do the dimensions when you get finished. Okay, now that we have our shim drawn, now I want to show you how to add our dimension lines. First thing we're going to do is come up here and we're going to turn our construction line layer off so we won't see our construction lines. And we're going to go into our dimension layer, and that should write our dimensions in red. To do the dimensions, it's pretty easy. Just click on the dimension icon, find your endpoint here, and find this endpoint there, and that should be 7. And we're going to come down 0.5. That's going to locate our dimension a ½ inch below this line. And our dimension is still active, so we're going to hit our endpoint here, endpoint there, and we're going to bring this down another 0.5 and make them line up like that. And then we'll do our last dimension on the bottom. We go from the side to the side, bring it down. And this one is going to be, this is going to be 2. It's going to be 3. So we're going to come down 3 and put our dimension this way. So I want you to go ahead and fill out all your dimensions. There's a couple here that are a little tricky. To do this dimension, we're going to type in mid. So we're going to come from the midpoint of our line here, just come to where it intersects, and then that is where we're going to put our dimension there. And then we'll do our box from here to here, and that will make our 3 point. Again, we're going to go 0.5. The other one that's a little tricky is this one here. If you go from here to here, it wants to put it on a little angle for us, and that's not what we want. So we're going to undo that. That undoes them all. We don't want to undo them all. So we're going to escape. We're just going to highlight this one, and we're going to delete that one. So we're going to need to add a construction line from here to the bottom to get our dimension line to look correct. So we're going to go back to our layers. We're going to go back to the construction layer, and we're going to turn this layer back on. It doesn't like going to a layer that has been turned off. So we're going to add a construction line from, we can go from this point down to our intersection there, and that will give us a spot to do our dimensions. So again, we have to go back to our dimension layer, click on dimensions. We're going to go from this point to this point, where we got our now we got our 7. We're going to come out here. This will be about 5.5. Whenever you do your other dimensions, you'll need it out that far. So I wouldn't do this one next. I would continue around doing your dimension as you go around. So make sure that you complete all of your dimensions. When you're finished, I want you to go to the construction layer and turn that off. And then I want you to save this as your shim drawing. I want you to come down here and fill out your text box. I want you to put your name in its correct location, put the date that you have drawn it, revision 1, and then the date of the revision will be the same. And then here in the title and the drawing title, you'll just put shim. Our scale is 1:1, and this is sheet 1. So if you had more than one of these, that might be on sheet 2 or sheet 3. This is just like the page number, and this is going to be page 1. So when you get this drawn and get your dimensions in there, I want you to save this as the shim file. Yours will be just shim. And then I want you to download that, submit that in Blackboard.